Hello folks, so if this is your first time here, my name is Steve, and in October 2025 I was diagnosed with liver cirrhosis. So this vlog is really just trying to help folks out who are going through a similar thing. So today I've had to go in and have my pneumonia jab. So one of the issues with liver cirrhosis is that you suffer a much bigger chance of getting an infection, and when you do get an infection, it quite often turns out to be worse than it normally would. So you have to be a bit careful and make sure that you have these jabs and bits and pieces sorted out. So I was in bed last night at 7 o'clock. Which is well early for me. I did wake up for a couple of hours around midnight-ish, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But then I was back to sleep. So it's now just gone 12:30, and I got up at about 6:30 this morning and left the house at 8:30. And got home at 12:30, and it's only like a 25-minute bus journey, but effectively 4 hours for a 10-minute appointment. And this is why it's difficult living where I live at the moment. We're out in a little village, and I've never driven. My ex-wife used to drive, but of course she's at work and what have you. So the bus stops are few and far between, which means it's quite a walk to get to one. The buses are few and far between, and then they don't always turn up. So it's quite difficult to get from A to B if you're using public transport round here. So I've been in today. I got in there at about 10:15, and they brought forward my appointment. My appointment was at 11:40, 20 to midday. They brought that forward to 20 past midday. So I sat there for about an hour. I fell asleep leaning on my stick while I was waiting. And then I've no idea how it happened, but I thought I had like about an hour and a quarter wait for the bus, and all of a sudden it just turned up. And I looked several times before I went and stood at the bus stop, and I looked while I was at the bus stop. And I thought I had an hour and a quarter to wait, and then I got on the bus and I couldn't find the timing that I'd figured was going to happen. I ended up, I could only find the time that the bus actually turned up. So again, the sort of the fatigue and exhaustion and lack of mental dexterity. And on that point, let's go back to why I woke up last night. So when I think my sort of like I finished being employed in September last year. I was a management consultant, self-employed, and my work asked me to do 2 weeks for free, which I refused to do. So they refused to pay me my last invoice. It's not a case of this isn't a case of what did I do, what was my efficiency or perceived efficiency like during the time that I was there. It's did I turn up and do those hours? So I put in a case against them through what people call a small money claims court, or it's just money claims online, and they fought it all the way. there's two people, the managing director and the CEO. The managing director, I always had an awful lot of time for, so I'm really disappointed with him. And the CEO, you know, I didn't really know her that well, but people who've worked for her have said she's quite difficult. So anyway, that's where I find myself, and that's what I was thinking about when I woke up last night. I've been absolutely fine until that letter came through from the court and the email came through from the court. And yeah, I just don't have the headspace to be dealing with it. So I've had to write to the doctors today to get them to tell the court why I would find A, the journey into the court to the hearing quite difficult, and B, the lack of mental dexterity, in other words, being able to defend myself, also quite difficult. And I have said to the court, you know, I'm very happy to submit all my evidence and paperwork and let the judge just make a decision based on what he thinks is, or she thinks is right. So we'll have to wait and see how that one plays out. So anyway, so it was 4 hours for a 10-minute journey. I got home at 12:30, and I've had my beta blockers, I've had my spironolactone, and I've had my furosemide. I'm going to go in a minute and have my lactulose, and I need to get something else to eat then as well. Like I said, I was up at 6:30 this morning, and so that's 2 hours before I actually left the house. I had to do that because I needed to eat something and give myself enough time to go to the toilet before I left the house. Such is the life of somebody with liver cirrhosis. And you can probably hear that my voice still hasn't cleared up. I'm still feeling pretty weak and not great. So I am sort of like thinking about, I'll do like the bit of the daily vlog, and there may well be some other stuff that I want to put in there. So, for example, I've been noticing, nothing brings a group of arseholes together closer than something that's none of their bloody business. It's like playing chess with a pigeon. They knock over all the pieces, shit on the board, and then strut around like they won. You're never going to be able to do nothing about that. So little bits of life wisdom that I've sort of picked up, and I'll be dropping some of those into these vlogs as we go along, and we'll see where we actually get to. But for now, be nice, be kind, and let's take that blue off of me because the screen just went dead. Be nice and be kind, because you never know what people are going through. Laters potatoes, off you pop.